Hello there, this is Ben AI6YR. Thought I'd just take a video of my latest project. This is a Ubiquiti AREDN, that's AREDN mesh node, portable. This actually runs a battery. And this is a prototype experiment. And so I'll walk you through what it is. So first of all, for those who haven't heard of AREDN, it is a open source project which allows you to create your own mesh networks on the amateur radio bands, and it's great. You can build your own network, your own internet if you want, and uses high-speed commercial off-the-shelf equipment and allows you to get a very far distance, hopping from mesh node to mesh node. So I ran across some equipment and decided to build a little portable prototype of a portable node, and so we'll go over that. So the first part of the mesh network is the mesh networking hardware. This is a Ubiquiti Loco M2. It is a wireless access point actually meant for consumer use, but if you load it with the AREDN code, you can run mesh, and it's pretty inexpensive. I think you can buy these new for $50. I got this in a pile of junk out of an estate sale. Believe it or not, I got a couple of these, so lucked out on that. And that is how you do it. This one, I just put this on a mount here so that you can change the direction, go wherever you want. And it's not a very fancy mount. Let me go. Sorry if this is going to go out of focus, but this is the commercial. That is the commercial mount that Ubiquiti has, and I just put it on a piece of plywood and put a pipe clamp on it and clamped it to the top of this random tripod that I have. So that is the node part of it. So next, that is wired down to down here. This is actually a router, a Cisco router. This was out of an e-waste pile, believe it or not. Actually, is this there's a Netgear router, sorry. And it is plugged in. You'll see the Ubiquiti node is actually plugged into the upstream router port right there. And that is currently lashed to the pole. I think I'm gonna get some zip ties and make it so you can put that on and off easily. But that is just my prototype. And plugged into that is, and this has a Wi-Fi access point on here, so you can run your Ubiquiti mesh, and then you can bridge to other devices on part 15. Also, and so what I have over here, I can aim this, is I have a laptop plugged in to the router. You could actually just plug your equipment directly in, but it's kind of nice to be able to have multiple pieces of equipment. My intent is to put a camera on here. I've got another IP camera which you could also put on that router, and so you could stream video over the mesh on this portable setup. So I'm going to back up here and fix my focus. So that's just the power meter for me to figure out how many watts this is taking, and a battery. So this is right now running off a 7 amp hour 12 volt battery. So that's the setup here, and we will take a look at the screen here in a second. Before we look at the screen, this is the wireless router and the Ubiquiti are taking 0.5 around 0.5 amps, and that is looks like 6.3 watts is what the power consumption is. And if I unplug the router, I'm going to unplug the router here. Looks like the Ubiquiti is taking about 4.5 watts, and that's at full power. I haven't tried turning the power down, so we may do that. So let me plug my router back in. So let me show you the. So that is a. Can't plug this in one-handed. Just a quick one. Everything I have is on power poles, and those power poles make it really easy to connect to other 12 volt equipment. The AREDN groups around here in Southern California use that, so anyone can connect anyone else's equipment into their power. It really relieves a lot of the compatibility issues with power. Here is the how I'm doing the Ethernet. That's a power over Ethernet injector, which I've wired to the 12 volts. These both of these devices, actually the router says it's 12 volts, but the Ubiquiti access point actually runs between 12 volts and 24 volts. So you can actually run this on less than spec. And that barrel connector I wired into the same supply, so I only need one thing all the way down there to the to my main power supply, the battery. So here's the screen on the laptop, and just showing you all the nodes. This actually is only seeing one other node, which is the bullet I have on my hill, which is 100%. But these are the rest of the mesh neighbors you can see right now. We had a failure on a local hill, so I'm not seeing the rest of the county at the moment, but all the other folks nearby I can see. Anyway, that's a real quick look at my portable AREDN mesh experiment here, just a prototype. I may put the router in a box and put this in a Go kit with a battery and maybe a better battery. These 7 amp hour batteries really only are good for 3.5 amp hours because they're lead acid and they're kind of heavy. The bianos are a lot better. So that is a quick video on a portable AREDN mesh, AREDN mesh. So it's not too difficult to put together.